Hello, welcome. Today we reveal something incredible and essential to our existence, and the great truth is that you may hardly believe it when I tell you how the Milky Way was born. Did you know that our immense stellar home began as small clouds of gas drifting through absolute emptiness billions of years ago? It is fascinating to imagine gravity acting like a silent artisan upon these seeds of light and primordial matter that now shelter us. Crossing this majestic spiral would take 100,000 years traveling at the speed of light. How could a structure so colossal and so perfectly organized emerge from the primordial chaos to become the serene cosmic whirlpool we inhabit today? In this journey, we will dive into the secrets of galactic archaeology to find fossil stars, understand how violent collisions expanded our horizons, and discover what the ultimate fate of our galaxy may be in the distant future. But before we continue, I would like to ask for your help. If this story sparks your curiosity, take a moment to support the work here on Cosmos for Rest. You can leave a like, subscribe so you don't miss future explorations, and share this journey with someone who might also enjoy drifting through the quiet wonders of the universe. Your support helps this space continue bringing calm scientific discoveries to your nights. Now, relax, close your eyes, and let science guide you. To take the first step on this journey through time and deep space, we must set aside every assumption we hold about the present world and travel to a past so distant that light itself was still an absolute novelty across the vastness of the cosmos. Imagine that we are floating in an ocean of nothingness, where darkness is not merely the absence of light but a fundamental state of existence that filled every inch of a newborn universe still extremely simple in its composition. About 13,800,000,000 years ago, the scene was one of almost hypnotic quiet, composed mainly of immense invisible clouds of hydrogen and helium, wandering without any apparent direction, waiting for the call of a force that would transform chaos into order. This era is known to scientists as the Cosmic Dark Ages, because the first seeds of brightness had not yet germinated in the fertile soil of the void, and what existed was a primordial silence, carrying within it the entire potential of everything that would one day come to exist, including ourselves. Within this setting of apparent emptiness, galactic archaeology reveals that an invisible and silent master builder was already working tirelessly behind the scenes of reality to raise the foundations of our stellar home. Dark matter, that mysterious substance we cannot see or touch but which exerts an overwhelming gravitational influence, began to gather into vast clusters known as halos, which served as true cradles for the future Milky Way. The most modern studies indicate that without this invisible supporting structure, the primordial gas would never have found any reason to concentrate at specific points, and galaxies as we know them today simply would not exist. It was the gravity of this exotic matter that created the first wells of attraction, pulling clouds of hydrogen toward the centers of immense cosmic webs, where density slowly and irresistibly began to increase, preparing the ground for the awakening of the universe's first lights. Now try to close your eyes and mentally visualize that cold and dark immensity, where trillions of atoms of gas begin to meet in a slow gravitational dance that lasts millions of years. Feel the pressure gradually rising at the center of these colossal clouds, where warmth begins to emerge like a soft breath within the absolute cold of deep space, while the gas becomes increasingly dense and opaque. It is as if the universe itself were holding its breath in a moment of maximum expectation, just before an event that would forever change the face of creation. Suddenly, at one specific point of greater concentration, the temperature reaches unimaginable levels, and the miracle of nuclear fusion occurs, causing the first star to ignite like a solitary beacon in the middle of eternal night. This first glow was not only light, but the signal that life and complexity had found a pathway to bloom in an environment that had once been nothing but vacuum and absolute silence. The birth of these first stars, which astronomers call population 3 stars, was the trigger necessary for small groups of celestial bodies to begin forming what we call proto-galaxies, the infant and irregular versions of our Milky Way. These primitive clusters were like small islands of light navigating through a sea of darkness, and each of them carried a unique identity, recorded in the chemistry of their oldest stars, which can still be found today orbiting the outermost regions of our galaxy. The consequence of this turbulent and majestic beginning is that the Milky Way did not arise as a perfect and finished disk, but rather as a collage of small fragments gradually merging across the ages. Understanding this origin allows us to realize that we are part of a continuous construction process, where every atom of iron in our blood or calcium in our bones rehearsed its first role inside those stellar furnaces that illuminated the path toward our existence billions of years ago. The process of gathering these seeds of light was marked by a cosmic patience that challenges our human understanding of time, because each movement of approach between clouds of gas and stars took hundreds of millions of years to complete. As these small protogalaxies drifted closer to one another, gravity performed a symphony of forces that shaped matter into the first structures that would eventually give rise to the central bulge of our galaxy. Imagine the majesty of witnessing two of these gigantic clusters meeting in the void and beginning to spin around one another in a gravitational waltz that scattered stars and gas in every direction, while creating a new and more powerful center of mass. This early period was a time of raw and vigorous construction, when the Milky Way was literally devouring its smaller neighbors in order to grow and strengthen, accumulating the mass necessary to become the giant spiral we admire on clear nights beneath the sky. Science tells us through extremely detailed computer simulations that these first galactic encounters were fundamental in distributing the heavy elements forged in the cores of the earliest stars. When those colossal stars reached the end of their short and intense lives, they exploded in magnificent supernovae, seeding space with oxygen, carbon, and other essential elements that would be used by future generations of stars and planets. Without this cycle of birth, life, and violent death within the original proto-galaxies, the universe would have remained a sterile place composed only of the lightest and simplest gases, and the chemical complexity necessary for life would never have been achieved. In its infancy, the Milky Way functioned as a laboratory of stellar alchemy, where iron and gold were forged within the heart of chaos, so that billions of years later, they could compose the world we touch and the tools we use in our everyday lives. Let your mind now drift through this landscape where space is sprinkled with these small jewels of light, joining together to form something far greater and more complex than the sum of their parts. Feel the beginning of rotational movement emerging like a gentle whirlpool, forming in a still pool of water, where gas and stars begin to flatten into a horizontal plane due to the centrifugal force of this eternal dance. It is an image of profound peace and of an order that arises naturally from the laws of physics, where what was once an amorphous and irregular cloud begins to acquire the first features of an elegant and harmonious disk. The light from these early galactic unions was intensely blue and pure, reflecting the youth and energy of a universe discovering its ability to create beauty out of the deepest darkness. Each meeting between these islands of light was another step toward the stability that would one day allow calm and stable solar systems like our own to emerge. The great revelation that the origin story of the Milky Way brings to us is that the stability we feel today is the result of a long succession of dynamic and often violent events that unfolded on a timescale far beyond any historical record. We are the direct heirs of those first clusters of dark matter and primordial gas, and the structure that now protects our solar system was forged through the resilience of those early gravitational encounters. When we look at the oldest stars in our galaxy, we are literally looking at survivors from an era of intense formation that defined the map of the universe we inhabit. This deep connection with the beginning of everything gives us a sense of belonging and calm, because we realize that we are the result of a magnificent plan written by the laws of nature, where light always finds a way to shine, even after millions of years of absolute darkness. Durante esses primeiros bilhões de anos, a Via Láctea continuou a atrair correntes de gás que fluíam através da vasta teia cósmica como rios invisíveis, alimentando um oceano estelar em constante expansão. Esse fluxo contínuo de matéria nova era essencial para manter ativa a formação de estrelas, garantindo que a galáxia não se tornasse um cemitério estelar, mas sim um ecossistema vibrante e renovável. Observações feitas por satélites modernos mostram que esse processo de alimentação ainda ocorre em menor escala, revelando que a nossa galáxia é, em certo sentido cósmico, um organismo vivo que troca matéria constantemente com o ambiente ao seu redor. Essa persistência em crescer e se transformar revela a resiliência da estrutura galáctica, que superou suas fases mais turbulentas para alcançar uma maturidade que agora nos permite estudar seu passado com reverência e admiração. The beauty of this story lies in the fact that every detail of the Milky Way's initial formation was essential for the sun to be born in exactly the right place. with the precise chemical composition capable of sustaining life on Earth. If the earliest collisions had unfolded differently, or if dark matter had concentrated in other regions, the galactic disk might have taken on another shape entirely, and the conditions necessary for the emergence of humanity might never have appeared. We are living in a home that took nearly 14 billion years to be built and decorated with billions of stars, and each one of them carries a story connected to the moment when the first hydrogen atom felt the pull of gravity in the emptiness of space. This understanding invites us to relax and trust the grand order of the cosmos, sensing that we are part of a narrative that began long before us, and that will continue unfolding for trillions of years into the future. After the first seeds of light had settled into the vast emptiness, our galaxy entered a phase of accelerated and extraordinarily vigorous growth, marked by monumental encounters that astronomers call galactic mergers. Imagine that the Milky Way in its youth was like an immense center of attraction drifting through a cosmic neighborhood far more crowded than the one we see today, where smaller galaxies orbited around it like curious satellites. This period was defined by a succession of majestic collisions in which our galaxy literally absorbed its smaller neighbors in order to gain mass and define its sovereign structure in space. These were not moments of sudden destruction, but slow processes of integration in which billions of foreign stars were gradually welcomed into a new home, permanently altering the destiny and shape of our stellar spiral. Each of these mergers left invisible scars that scientists today try to decipher in order to reconstruct the genealogical tree of our local universe. One of the most fascinating chapters of this story was discovered recently through the Gaia mission of the European Space Agency, which mapped billions of stars with an unprecedented precision in the history of astronomy. Researchers identified the remnants of an ancestral galaxy known as Gaia Enceladus, which collided with the Milky Way about 10 billion years ago in an event that completely transformed our internal architecture. This collision was so powerful that it inflated the disk of our galaxy, creating what we now call the thick disk and scattering stars in every direction into eccentric orbits that can still be traced today. Science shows us that a large portion of the stars we observe in the galactic halo were not born here but were brought from outside during these episodes of merging, revealing that the Milky Way is actually a cosmopolitan collage of many ancient worlds. This discovery transformed our understanding of galactic evolution, proving that growth through interaction is the rule rather than the exception in the cosmos. Try now to place yourself at the center of this immense cosmic waltz and feel the scale of time where millennia pass like the slow beating of a very calm heart. Imagine that you are floating in a privileged point of observation, watching a dwarf galaxy slowly approaching the Milky Way while being stretched and distorted by tidal gravitational forces. It is as if long ribbons of stars were being gently blown through space, forming luminous streams that wrap around our galaxy in an eternal embrace of light and dust. Feel the serenity of this process where, despite the colossal scale, everything unfolds in absolute silence and with an elegance that challenges our perception of violence. The stars of the two galaxies rarely collide directly because of the immense distances that separate them, yet their orbits are softly reshaped, forming new patterns and structures that glow gently against the dark background of infinite space, while the new system gradually finds its equilibrium. The result of these great collisions is that the Milky Way became a galaxy far richer in heavy elements and in stellar diversity than it would have been had it evolved in isolation. Each dwarf galaxy that was absorbed brought with it its own reserve of pristine gas and stars of different ages, allowing new waves of star formation to occur in regions that had once been calm. This constant mixing of materials is what enabled the creation of complex and chemically diverse systems, such as our own solar system, which was born in an environment enriched by billions of years of cosmic mergers and recycling. Understanding that our home was built from fragments of other worlds gives us a profound perspective on the interconnected nature of the universe, where nothing is ever lost, and everything transforms into something more complex and beautiful. We are walking upon the remnants of stars that once belonged to galaxies that no longer exist, yet whose legacy remains engraved in every atom of our reality. As these mergers continued, the center of the Milky Way became a place of extreme density and activity, where the supermassive black hole at the core gained more fuel and exerted an even stronger influence over the surrounding stars. This galactic nucleus functioned like a gravitational anchor, maintaining the cohesion of a system that was constantly mutating and expanding outward, while the spiral arms gradually became more clearly defined. Gas captured during these collisions accumulated within the galactic disk, acting as fresh fuel for the birth of vibrant nebulae, where millions of new stars began shining simultaneously. It was an era of constant renewal in which the galaxy explored the limits of its size and form, seeking a stability that would only be achieved billions of years later, after the consumption of nearly all of its immediate neighbors. The energy released during these processes shaped the magnetic environment of the galaxy and helped create the protected conditions that today allow habitable regions to exist. Scientists such as Amina Helmi, one of the pioneers of modern galactic archaeology, argue that the history of our galaxy can be read through the stellar dynamics of specific groups of stars that move together like schools of fish in a vast cosmic ocean. These stellar streams are definitive evidence that the Milky Way remains an active predator in space, because even today there are small galaxies, such as the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy, that are slowly being dismantled and integrated into our disk. Chemical analysis of these migrating stars reveals that they contain proportions of elements different from native stars, functioning like a fingerprint that allows astronomers to identify the cosmic country from which they originated. Through this investigative work, scientists conclude that the Milky Way possesses a physical memory of its past conquests, preserving within its stars a detailed chronicle of every encounter that contributed to its present majesty and splendor. Allow your mind now to visualize these stellar streams as rivers of silvery light flowing around the galactic center, forming a complex and radiant network that surrounds the entire system. It is an image of protection and expansion, where what was once a thin disk begins to gain volume and a luminous halo that stretches for thousands of light years in every direction. Feel the gentle sway of these stars as they orbit in harmony, following the invisible lines of gravity that keep them united in a shared purpose of collective existence. The light in these peripheral regions is softer and more diffuse, transmitting a sensation of peace and extended time, where the pressures of the galactic center feel distant and irrelevant. In this vision, you can perceive the galaxy as an integrated structure where the movement of a single wandering star resonates through the entire fabric of space-time, creating a silent symphony that sustains cosmic order. The importance of understanding this era of collisions lies in the fact that the future of the Milky Way is already written in the stars and points toward an even more monumental encounter with our neighboring galaxy, Andromeda. What we learn from the past teaches us that these events are not endings but new beginnings, for a structure even larger and more luminous that astronomers have already nicknamed Milkomeda. This eternal cycle of union and growth reveals that the universe is in constant evolution, and that our galaxy is an ongoing project that never stops transforming and adapting. When we recognize that we are the result of billions of years of galactic encounters, we can feel a deep tranquility in realizing that we are part of something immense and resilient that crosses the ages with unshakable strength. The violent past of our galaxy is the foundation of our present peace and the engine of our future evolution, in a universe that celebrates the union of matter in all its forms. During this long process of growth, the Milky Way also developed its halo of dark matter in a stronger and more stable way, creating a gravitational shield that prevents precious gas from escaping into the deep intergalactic void. This retention mechanism is essential for the galaxy to continue recycling its elements and keeping its light alive for trillions of years, allowing life enough time to arise and evolve in many regions of the galactic disk. The collisions brought not only stars and gas but also structural stability by increasing the angular momentum of the system and defining the rotation that we observe today. It is fascinating to think that the same process that might seem chaotic on a human timescale is actually the source of the organization and balance that make our peaceful existence on Earth possible. Nature uses the brute force of collisions to sculpt the delicate stability of planetary systems, where silence and light can finally coexist. We can conclude this reflection on the era of collisions by realizing that each wandering star we see crossing the night sky may be a traveler from another galaxy that found rest and purpose within the Milky Way. This cosmic hospitality defines our galactic identity as a refuge for diverse stars that together form one of the most beautiful structures in the observable universe. As you relax beneath the veil of these discoveries, you can feel the weight of time dissolving, while you integrate yourself into this narrative of billions of years in which motion and union are the only constants. The Milky Way is the result of the immeasurable persistence of light over darkness, and every collision of the past was a necessary step so that today we could close our eyes and imagine the grandeur of this stellar ballet that surrounds us. The sleep that now approaches is only a small reflection of the calm our galaxy found after billions of years of an epic and transformative journey through infinity. To understand the internal functioning of our gigantic stellar home, we must look beyond the visible glow of the stars and dive into the invisible mechanisms that keep the structure of the Milky Way in a perfect and dynamic balance. The galaxy is not merely a collection of celestial bodies, but a cosmic machine of extraordinary precision in which every component plays a fundamental role in sustaining light and life across the ages. One of the most profound and mysterious elements governing this system is the galactic magnetic field, which acts like an invisible circulatory system, guiding the flow of charged particles and protecting the disk from unwanted external intrusions. This subtle yet omnipresent magnetism is generated by the motion of ionized gas within the disk and extends for thousands of light years, forming a protective network that helps shape the immense clouds of dust where new stars are about to be born. Understanding these hidden processes is like looking into the gears of an eternal clock that has been operating without interruption for billions of years in the silence of the vacuum. Modern science, through radio observatories and infrared telescopes such as Spitzer and Herschel, has revealed that the Milky Way possesses an extremely efficient system for recycling matter known as the cycle of the interstellar medium. Astronomers explain that when a star dies, it does not simply disappear but returns almost all of its mass to space, enriched with heavy elements that were cooked inside its core during millions of years of nuclear fusion. This expelled gas and dust drift through space until they are cooled and compressed once again by galactic shock waves, initiating a new cycle of stellar birth in a process of perpetual renewal. Detailed chemical studies show that this feedback mechanism prevents the galaxy from exhausting its fuel too quickly, ensuring that the production of stars continues at a balanced and sustainable rhythm. Without this strategy of reusing materials, the Milky Way would have become a dark and lifeless place, long before our own sun ever had the opportunity to form. Imagine now that you are floating inside one of these immense molecular clouds where the density is so low that it resembles a mystical and frozen fog spread across the infinite expanse of space. Feel the freshness and calm of this environment, where grains of cosmic dust drift gently like tiny crystals of ice, reflecting the distant light of stars you cannot yet see. Within this landscape of imagination, you may notice invisible waves of pressure moving through the cloud like the rhythmic pulse of a galactic heart, causing the gas to gather slowly into small cocoons of warmth. It is a place of absolute peace and profound silence where time seems to move without urgency, and every particle follows a path gently guided by gravity toward the center of a new world. This vision allows us to feel the delicacy of the processes unfolding behind the scenes of the galaxy, where the cold darkness is in truth the fertile womb from which the brightness of future generations of stars will emerge. The consequence of this mechanism of internal renewal is that the Milky Way remains a young and vibrant organism, despite its advanced age in cosmic time. This strategy of preservation and recycling allowed the emergence of galactic habitable zones, where radiation levels and chemical abundance remain stable enough for rocky planets like Earth to develop safely. When we understand that our own existence is the product of stellar recycling that occurred countless times before us, we feel a deep connection with the rhythm of the galaxy, where the death of one star is always the prelude to the birth of another possibility. This continuous flow brings a sense of safety and continuity, because we realize that we are part of a system that knows how to care for its resources and that possesses an unshakable resilience across the passage of eons. The balance between the cold gas of space and the warmth of stars is the background music that carries our solar system gently around the galactic center. Another essential component of this deep mechanism is the spiral arms themselves, which are not fixed structures but waves of density that travel through the galactic disk like sound waves along a vibrating string. As these waves move, they compress the gas within the disk, triggering the birth of new stellar nurseries and creating the elegant pattern we observe in astronomical images. It is a dynamic process in which stars move in and out of these arms during their orbits, while the larger pattern remains visible and stable, acting as a regulator of galactic activity on a grand scale. Science teaches us that this spiral structure is sustained by the gravity of the disk itself, and by the subtle gravitational interactions with satellite galaxies that gently tug on the system and keep the dance in motion. This balance between motion and form is what gives the Milky Way its unique visual identity, and ensures that star formation spreads harmoniously throughout the disk, rather than remaining concentrated only at the center. Researchers have also discovered enormous bubbles of gamma radiation known as the Fermi bubbles, which extend tens of thousands of light-years above and below the galactic plane. These colossal structures are the result of past episodes of intense activity in the supermassive black hole at the galactic center, suggesting that the heart of our galaxy experiences cycles of power and quiet. Galactic archaeology uses these clues to understand how energy flows from the nucleus to the outer regions, and how galactic winds remove excess gas, preventing the center from becoming dangerously unstable. This exhaust mechanism is essential for the health of the galaxy, because it regulates the growth of the central black hole, while maintaining the temperature of the galactic halo at levels that allow fresh gas to fall back into the disk in the future. It is a form of thermal regulation on a monumental scale, ensuring that the engine of the galaxy never destroys the structure that feeds it. Allow your mind to travel now to the center of the galaxy, where billions of stars orbit at extraordinary speeds around an invisible point of immense gravity. Despite the intensity of this activity, feel the stability of this nucleus, which functions like a sun on a far greater scale, keeping everything in its rightful place with silent authority. Imagine bubbles of energy rising gently like vapors from a cosmic ocean, coloring space with shades that our eyes cannot see, but that imagination can paint in tones of violet and deep blue. Sense the vastness of this structure that anchors and protects us as we revolve in our safe orbit, far from the turbulence of the core, yet always connected to it through invisible threads of force. In this visualization, the galaxy becomes a temple of order and beauty where every movement follows the universal laws of physics, creating a sanctuary of stability that quietly supports your rest. The importance of these internal mechanisms lies in the fact that they create an environment of predictability and calm that is necessary for intelligence and consciousness to evolve in the universe. The Milky Way is not a place of random and meaningless events, but a structured system that uses complex strategies to maintain its integrity and continue shining across time. As we explore the secrets of this cosmic engineering, we are invited to reflect on our own ability to find balance amid the constant changes of life. The galaxy teaches us that in order to shine, we must recycle, and in order to maintain form, we must remain in motion in harmony with the forces around us. This wisdom written in the movement of the stars comforts us and prepares us for deep rest, reminding us that we are supported by an order that never fails, and by mechanisms that have protected light since the beginning of time. In addition, the disk of the Milky Way possesses a subtle inclination and oscillation known as precession, which causes the galaxy to move like a spinning top, slowly turning through intergalactic space. This elegant motion helps distribute gravitational tensions throughout the system, preventing nearby galactic interactions from causing immediate structural damage. It is a strategy of adaptation that allows the galaxy to navigate the local group without losing its characteristic spiral form, protecting the inner solar systems from large external disturbances. Observing these delicate movements reminds us that stability is not the absence of motion, but rather a state of controlled and harmonious movement. The peace we feel when we look at the night sky is the result of perfect coordination among trillions of celestial bodies, working together across unimaginable distances. Finally, we come to understand that every deep element of the Milky Way, from the invisible magnetic field to the immense bubbles of energy, operates together to create the harmony we observe. This total integration is what transforms a simple collection of stars into a welcoming cosmic home for humanity and for any other forms of life that may exist on distant worlds. As you relax beneath the protection of these stellar mechanisms, you may feel your mind becoming quieter and your body surrendering to the weight of rest, knowing that the machinery of the galaxy will continue to function perfectly while you sleep. Light will continue to be recycled, density waves will continue to give birth to new stars, and the magnetic field will continue guiding our path through infinity. You are part of this magnificent system, safe within the embrace of a galaxy that has learned to transform chaos into the silence and peace necessary for your rest. Within the majestic structure we inhabit, there are secrets guarded by the vastness of time and mysteries that challenge our most fundamental understanding of how the universe truly works. The Milky Way is not only what shines before our eyes or what telescopes capture invisible light, but rather a cosmic iceberg, where most of its essence remains hidden within the shadows of reality. One of the greatest secrets discovered by contemporary astronomy is the existence of hypervelocity stars, celestial bodies launched from the center of the galaxy at such extreme speeds that they are literally escaping our gravitational grip and wandering forever into intergalactic space. These solitary travelers act as messengers of violent events that occurred deep within the galactic heart, revealing that even within a system so organized there are forces powerful enough to exile entire worlds into eternal solitude. Investigating these phenomena is like reading torn pages from an ancient diary, where each discovery leads to new questions about the true nature of our stellar home. Modern science, through researchers such as Andrea Ghez and Reinhard Genzel, who devoted decades to studying the galactic center, revealed the greatest mystery of all, Sagittarius A. This is the supermassive black hole residing at the core of the Milky Way, containing the mass of 4 million suns compressed into a point of unimaginable density where the traditional laws of physics begin to lose their familiar meaning. Stellar archaeology and radio astronomy show that this invisible giant is not simply a rupture in space, but the gravitational engine that keeps the central stars moving in a precise and frenetic dance. Recent discoveries suggest that this black hole may produce jets of energy, capable of influencing star formation thousands of light years away, acting as a regulator of the galaxy's fertility. Without this hidden secret, concealed behind thick clouds of dust and gas, the Milky Way would not possess the cohesion necessary to maintain its spiral form, or the orbital stability that allows our quiet existence in the outer regions of the disk. Now imagine transporting your awareness to the outer edges of the galaxy, where the glow of stars gradually fades and space becomes an expanse of deep, almost endless midnight blue. Picture yourself observing the galactic halo, a vast reservoir of invisible matter surrounding the Milky Way like a protective and mysterious aura, where globular clusters of stars reside, so ancient that they witness the early epochs of cosmic time. Feel the absolute calm of this region where movement is nearly imperceptible, and silence feels almost tangible to the touch of your imagination. Within this setting, you may notice the stellar streams of Sagittarius flowing like rivers of silver dust, slowly being absorbed by our galaxy in a quiet and eternal process of nourishment. It is a vision of mystery and serenity where every distant point of light tells the story of a past encounter, reminding us that our galaxy is far larger and more intricate than any map could fully describe. The consequence of these discoveries is the realization that we live within a system that is both robust and remarkably subtle in its interactions. The presence of zones of deep quiet alongside regions of extreme activity reveals that the Milky Way possesses its own ecological balance, where every mystery uncovered helps us better understand our place within the cosmic scale. Knowing that most of the mass of our galaxy is composed of dark matter, a substance we cannot directly detect, but which supports everything we see, brings a deep sense of humility and admiration. We are navigating through an ocean of mysteries where each new discovery about the galactic center, or about runaway stars, reinforces the idea that the universe is a place of infinite possibility and extraordinary beauty beyond our full comprehension. This feeling of wonder nourishes our spirit and invites us to relax in the security of an order that, although mysterious, operates with perfect precision. Another fascinating mystery is what astronomers sometimes describe as the galactic hand of God, a structure of gas and dust that appears to stretch across space as if pointing toward the heart of the galaxy. Its presence suggests that the topography of our galactic disk is far more irregular and dynamic than simplified illustrations often portray. The discovery that the Milky Way's disk contains subtle folds, almost like a gently twisted fabric, reveals that our galaxy is constantly interacting with the gravitational fields of nearby smaller galaxies. These distortions are like geological records of space itself, telling us about invisible pressures the Milky Way experiences as it travels through the local group toward its distant future. Scientists use these folds to estimate the total mass of dark matter in the galaxy, demonstrating that what appears to be irregularity is actually evidence of forces we are only beginning to measure. It is a dance of tension and release that preserves the integrity of the system, allowing it to adapt to the influence of its cosmic environment. Recently, scientists also discovered what is known as the Great Hydrogen Wall, an enormous structure that appears to surround part of our solar neighborhood and may be connected to supernova explosions that occurred millions of years ago. This discovery suggests that we live inside a local bubble of hot gas that shields us from some of the more intense radiation of deep space, functioning like a protective cocoon within the immense galaxy. Understanding this structure reveals that the universe contains layers of protection we had never imagined before, and that our journey through the Orion Arm may be far more sheltered than scientists once believed. Each new layer of knowledge reveals that randomness plays only a small role in such a coordinated cosmic structure, where even mysteries often serve a vital function in preserving stability and life. Discoveries like these make us feel as if we are resting within a cradle carefully shaped by the forces of nature. Allow your mind to drift among these hidden secrets, sensing the vastness of everything we have yet to discover as an invitation to relax and surrender to the natural processes of the cosmos. Imagine each mystery as a gentle star glowing within the darkness of your thoughts, guiding you toward a state of rest where curiosity slowly transforms into quiet peace. Feel the presence of the central black hole not as something frightening, but as a steady heart maintaining the order of billions of stars and ensuring that each follows its path without chaos. Visualize hypervelocity stars streaking across the sky like sparks from an eternal firework, carrying away any lingering tension as they disappear into the infinite distance. In this quiet mental journey, the secrets of the Milky Way become the background music of your rest, reminding you that everything is exactly where it should be, and that the unknown is simply another form of beauty. The importance of exploring these mysteries lies in our deep human need to understand the architecture of reality, so that we may feel safe within it. Through its secrets, the Milky Way teaches us that truth is often invisible, and that what sustains the light frequently resides in the shadows. When we accept that there are forces and structures we do not yet fully comprehend, we learn to release the need for control and to trust the intelligence guiding the motion of galaxies. Every scientific discovery becomes another step in our evolution as a species, and a reminder that we are part of a grand design, unfolding across billions of years. This connection with mystery calms us, lifting us beyond the small worries of daily life and placing us within the vastness where time and space merge into a single experience of existence. Mystery is not an obstacle, but the quiet wonder that makes our presence in the universe so deeply meaningful. Scientists have also discovered that the Milky Way possesses a kind of chemical pulse, where waves of newly created elements spread across the galactic disk over millions of years as the galaxy passes through denser regions of interstellar gas. This hidden rhythm ensures that the galaxy's fertility is periodically renewed, allowing new solar systems rich in minerals to continue forming. It is a survival mechanism, written into the architecture of the galaxy itself, preventing stagnation and ensuring that the production of stars and planets remains active across cosmic time. This steady pulse suggests that life may not be a rare accident but a natural outcome of the way galaxies organize matter and energy. As we sense this rhythm, we can align our own breathing with the quiet breathing of the galaxy, finding a calm harmony that gently guides us toward rest and renewal. In the end, the secrets and mysteries of the Milky Way lead us to understand that we inhabit a masterpiece constantly evolving, authored by the laws of physics expressed in their most elegant and poetic form. Each discovery about ancient stars in the halo or about the dynamic center of the galaxy is a gift to human awareness, allowing us to see the universe with gratitude and reverence. The fact that we are capable of uncovering these mysteries suggests that the galaxy is slowly becoming aware of itself through us, creating an unbreakable bond between observer and cosmos. And now, as you prepare to drift into sleep, allow these mysteries to wrap around your thoughts like a blanket of stars, protecting your dreams and ensuring that your rest becomes deep and restorative. The Milky Way will continue guarding its secrets while you sleep, yet the light of its discoveries will remain quietly illuminating your path toward tomorrow. The Milky Way does not exist as an isolated entity drifting alone in the vacuum, but rather as part of an immense network of connections that sustains the structure of the universe on the largest scales. To understand the birth of our galaxy is also to understand how gravitational and chemical relationships shape the environment where life now flourishes with such diversity. There is a deep interdependence between the motion of neighboring galaxies and the stability of our own spiral disk, where even small adjustments in the path of a nearby dwarf galaxy can trigger waves of star formation thousands of light years away. These connections are the invisible threads of a cosmic web linking the smallest scales to the grandest structures, revealing that an event occurring in the heart of the galaxy millions of years ago may still echo today in the composition of our planet's atmosphere. Every component of this cosmic mechanism is tied together so intimately that the story of the Milky Way cannot be told without acknowledging how it interacts with the rest of the universe and with our own biological journey. Through observational cosmology and massive projects such as the Sloan Digital Sky Survey, scientists discovered that our galaxy is part of a colossal supercluster called Laniakea, a name from the Hawaiian language that means immeasurable heaven. Astronomers explain that the Milky Way is being pulled by an immense gravitational influence known as the Great Attractor, which helps coordinate the motion of hundreds of thousands of galaxies across trillions of kilometers of space. This large-scale connection demonstrates that the birth and evolution of our galaxy resonate across the entire cluster, influencing the distribution of dark matter and the expansion dynamics of the local universe. Studies in galactic archaeology connect this enormous structure to the destiny of the stars visible in our own sky, revealing that the Milky Way's position in the cosmos is not random, but the result of a hierarchy of forces organizing matter since the earliest moments after the Big Bang. This scientific view allows us to recognize that we belong to a universal ecosystem where the balance of a single galaxy depends on the harmony of the whole. Imagine now that you could see these invisible threads of gravity connecting the Milky Way to its galactic neighbors in deep space, like lines of light softly glowing in the darkness. Feel the vastness of Laniakea embracing our cosmic home with unimaginable scale, where every rotation of our galaxy becomes a note within a symphony that spans trillions of years. In this vision, energy flows gently through those connections, nourishing the growth of clusters and maintaining the universe in a calm and balanced expansion. It is a place of deep serenity where distance between galaxies does not represent isolation, but rather the space necessary for each to shine with its own identity, while remaining part of the greater whole. Let this image of an infinite and harmonious network settle your mind, bringing the quiet certainty that nothing in the universe happens without connection or purpose. The consequence of these cosmic relationships is that the birth and evolution of the Milky Way had a direct impact on the chemistry that allows conscious beings like us to exist. The formation of our galactic disk created a protected environment where heavy elements could accumulate, enabling the Sun and its planets to inherit a rich mixture of rare minerals and gases that would not exist in less developed galaxies. Understanding this connection allows us to see that the influence of the galaxy upon us is complete and profound, because every heartbeat and every thought we experience depends on the stability that the Milky Way achieved over billions of years. This intimate bond with our galactic past brings a deep sense of calm, reminding us that we are not outsiders observing the cosmos, but rather the cosmos becoming aware of itself. The influence of the galaxy in our daily lives makes existence feel sacred, for we are the final expression of a long chain of gravitational and chemical miracles. Beyond these external relationships, the Milky Way also shapes its own internal structure through what scientists call stellar ecology, where radiation from younger stars influences the environments of distant planetary systems. There is a natural protective strategy in which the spiral arms function like shields against high-energy cosmic rays, ensuring that the solar system remains within a relatively quiet radiation zone. This protective influence allowed life on Earth to develop complexity and resilience over millions of years, without constant interruption from catastrophic cosmic events. Scientists use galactic climate models to show that the position of the Sun within the galaxy is one of the most important factors for maintaining planetary stability and global temperature balance. We are connected to the health of our galaxy in such a fundamental way that preserving galactic equilibrium is, in a deeper sense, preserving the future of our own species. Another significant consequence of these galactic connections is the distribution of water and complex organic molecules, traveling through clouds of dust and comets from one solar system to another. The Milky Way acts as a vast distributor of life's building blocks, scattering the essential ingredients of biology across the galactic disk as stars orbit the center. Recent research in astrochemistry reveals that many of the molecular precursors of life exist throughout the galaxy's large molecular clouds, suggesting that the relationship between stellar chemistry and biology may be a universal rule. This understanding suggests that the Milky Way is not merely a structure of stars, but a fertile cradle where life naturally emerges from the way matter organizes itself. Realizing this brings a profound calm, because it shows that life is part of the galaxy's own design, and that possibilities for consciousness extend across a disk 100,000 light-years wide. Allow your awareness now to merge with this sense of connection and sharing, as if every molecule within your body were gently vibrating in harmony with the heart of the galaxy. Imagine yourself as a small star within this immense network of light, where your presence contributes to the brightness of the whole, and where you receive warmth and protection from the countless stars surrounding you. Feel the comfort of knowing that you are never truly alone, and that your existence resonates through the invisible threads of gravity, connecting worlds far beyond what you can see. In this quiet vision, the web of galactic connections becomes a blanket of security, wrapping gently around your being, offering a deep sense of belonging and rest within the universe. You are an essential piece of the Milky Way's grand design, and the harmony of the galaxy mirrors the calm you cultivate within yourself as sleep begins to arrive. The importance of recognizing these connections lies in the transformation of perspective they bring to our daily lives. When we see ourselves as part of a cosmic network billions of years in the making, many of our worries shrink to the size of tiny grains of dust within a vast universe. The Milky Way teaches us that events in one region of the system inevitably influence the whole, and that cooperation among natural forces is what sustains the beauty of reality. By accepting that our lives are shaped by processes unfolding across billions of years, we can relax with the confidence that a profound order surrounds us. This surrender to the flow of cosmic connections is one of the most powerful paths toward deep and restorative rest, where the mind releases tension and merges with the calm vastness of space. Scientists also investigate the influence of galactic tides, invisible gravitational forces that gently distort the clouds of comets and dust at the outer edges of our solar system. These tides influence how frequently new celestial visitors travel toward the inner regions of our planetary neighborhood. This dynamic interaction reveals that the connection between the Milky Way and the solar system is ongoing and alive, requiring the Sun to maintain a delicate balance with the forces of the galactic environment. These tides occasionally deliver fresh interstellar material into our region of space, enriching the solar system with dust, carrying information about star formation occurring far away. It is a process of exchange and renewal, ensuring that our planetary system continues evolving alongside the rest of the galactic spiral. In the end, the connections and influences of the Milky Way reveal a universe where light and matter remain in constant dialogue, creating an endless story of growth and transformation. Each new link we uncover between our biology and the history of stars becomes another reason to appreciate life and to rest peacefully beneath the night sky. The Milky Way will continue its dance within Laniakea while you sleep, maintaining the delicate balance that allows the world to keep turning and life to keep unfolding. As you close your eyes, you can almost feel the pulse of that infinite network of light, guiding you toward the deepest and most tranquil sleep that science and imagination can offer. The relationship between the birth of the Milky Way and the history of our species is one of the deepest and most poetic connections science has ever revealed. Since the earliest humans looked up and saw that pale band of light stretching across the night sky, our identity has been shaped by the presence of this immense stellar structure. For ancient civilizations, the galaxy was imagined as a celestial river, a road of milk, or a pathway for the gods. Yet today, we understand that it is far more than myth or symbol. It is our physical family tree, the structure that allowed the chaos of the early universe to organize itself into a form capable, eventually, of thinking about its own existence. Humanity does not merely live within the Milky Way. We are a fragment of the Milky Way that developed eyes and consciousness to contemplate the magnificence of its own origin after billions of years of silent and patient evolution. Modern science, inspired by thinkers such as Carl Sagan, popularized the idea that we are made of star stuff. And from the perspective of stellar archaeology, this statement is literally true. Scientists have demonstrated that almost every atom in the human body, from the iron carried in our blood to the calcium strengthening our bones, was forged inside stars that were born and died during the early history of the Milky Way. The story of our galaxy therefore becomes the prehistory of human biology, where each galactic collision and each supernova explosion played a necessary role in enriching the cosmic soil from which life eventually emerged. Recognizing that our DNA shares its chemical heritage with distant nebulae transforms astronomy into a form of self-knowledge, allowing humanity for the first time to truly feel at home in the universe. Imagine now the invisible connection linking your physical body to the center of the galaxy, as if each beat of your heart were gently synchronized with the rhythmic pulse of billions of stars orbiting through space. Picture yourself resting beneath a perfectly dark sky where the Milky Way glows softly above, stretching across the heavens like a luminous bridge connecting the past with the future. Feel the coolness of the night air and realize that the light reaching your eyes has traveled for thousands of years. The same light that guided ancient observers, and that will continue shining long after our own time has passed. In this quiet moment, the boundary between you and the cosmos begins to dissolve, leaving only a profound sense of belonging and calm. Allow that image of unity with the galaxy to soften your thoughts, guiding your mind toward a gentle surrender to the natural rhythms of rest and renewal. The consequence of this intimate relationship is the realization that our existence is not a random accident, but the culmination of a galactic process unfolding across unimaginable spans of time. When we understand that the Milky Way spent billions of years shaping the conditions necessary for life to arise, we develop a quiet gratitude for the stability of the universe and for the delicate balance that sustains our world. This awareness brings a deep existential calm, because we recognize that we are supported by a structure that is ancient, resilient, and remarkably harmonious. Humanity found in the Milky Way the perfect environment in which art, science, curiosity, and love could emerge. Knowing this allows us to rest with lighter hearts, trusting that the same cosmic system that created us continues to carry our story forward. Across the centuries, our relationship with the galaxy has evolved from simple observation to active exploration. Humanity now sends telescopes and spacecraft to study the spiral arms and the distant stars that define our position within the cosmic landscape. In doing so, we participate in a remarkable cycle of awareness, where the universe slowly becomes conscious of itself through the minds that arise within it. Every new discovery about the galactic center, every image of distant nebulae, and every newly found planetary system strengthens the bond between humanity and its cosmic home. In caring for our small planet, we also honor the immense stellar heritage left behind by generations of stars that lived and died long before us. This responsibility is not a burden, but a quiet privilege that connects us to the continuity of life across the universe. Philosophers of science often observe that the beauty we feel when looking at images of the Milky Way reveals a deep harmony between the human mind and the laws governing the cosmos. Our sense of wonder is not accidental. It reflects the fact that the same physical principles shaping the galaxy also shape the neurons within our brains. When we gaze toward the spiral arms of our galaxy, we are not looking at something foreign, but at a reflection of the very processes that gave rise to us. This recognition brings comfort, helping us place the challenges of everyday life into a broader perspective, where difficulties become small compared to the grandeur of cosmic history. The Milky Way becomes a mirror of our own complexity and resilience, inviting us to rest in the security of belonging to something far greater than ourselves. Allow your thoughts now to drift gently with the awareness that, while you breathe quietly, trillions of stellar processes continue unfolding throughout the galaxy to maintain the stability of your world. Imagine the Milky Way as a vast city of light where every star, from the smallest grain of dust to the most luminous supergiant, contributes to maintaining the balance of the whole. Feel yourself as a traveler carried peacefully within this cosmic vessel, moving through space with a quiet certainty, guided by gravity and time. In this moment, the weight of your day begins to dissolve, replaced by the gentle motion of the galaxy guiding you forward. You are safe, you are home, and you are part of a story that began billions of years before you and will continue long into the future. The significance of this connection lies in the strength it gives us to accept the cycles of life with a calm and cosmic perspective. The Milky Way teaches us that while individual stars fade, the galaxy itself continues its journey of creation and renewal. This lesson of continuity helps us embrace rest as a natural and necessary part of existence, where the quiet of the night restores the energy needed for a new day of awareness and exploration. By weaving the story of the galaxy into our own lives, we become calmer, wiser, and more deeply connected to the rhythm of the universe. The sleep that approaches now is simply another expression of this rhythm, a moment of quiet communion with the forces that have shaped existence since the dawn of time. Scientists have also begun exploring how subtle variations in the galaxy's environment may have influenced long-term climatic and biological cycles on Earth. These studies suggest that humanity's evolution may be gently synchronized with the broader rhythms of the Milky Way itself. Such insights reveal that our species is part of a cosmic clock set into motion billions of years ago. The idea that our lives unfold within such a carefully balanced cosmic framework provides a profound sense of reassurance. We are travelers moving through a universe whose laws have quietly guided us to this moment of reflection and peace. And finally, the connection between humanity and the Milky Way reminds us that one of our greatest gifts is the ability to admire and love the universe that gave us life. Each night beneath the star-filled sky becomes an opportunity to renew that connection and to remember that we are not separate from the cosmos, but an expression of it. The Milky Way will continue turning gracefully through space while you rest, keeping its countless stars shining softly above your dreams. As you allow sleep to carry you gently into the quiet of the night, remember that you are made of the same light as the galaxy itself, a conscious spark within an endless ocean of stars. When we look toward the horizon of deep time, we begin to realize that the story of the Milky Way's birth is only the opening chapter of a narrative that still holds transformations of extraordinary scale and beauty. The future of our galaxy is not a static state, but a path leading toward an even greater union with the other galaxies that share our cosmic neighborhood. In about 4 billion years, the Milky Way and its large companion, the Andromeda Galaxy, will begin an encounter that will permanently change the appearance of the night sky. Yet this event should not be imagined as a catastrophe or an ending. It is better understood as a majestic metamorphosis in which two immense stellar systems will slowly merge to form a new and even more magnificent galaxy, a structure astronomers already refer to as Milky Way. Modern astronomy uses highly sophisticated computer simulations to explore how this encounter will unfold. These simulations reveal that gravity will act as a patient and precise choreographer guiding the process over billions of years. Because the distances between individual stars are so enormous, the likelihood of direct stellar collisions is extremely small. This means that our Sun and its planets will likely pass through the transformation without harm. What will change is the architecture of the galaxies themselves. Vast clouds of gas will collide and compress, igniting a final and spectacular wave of star formation. The night sky of that distant future would glow with countless new stars, illuminating the cosmos with a brilliance not seen since the early ages of the universe. Try to imagine this distant future now. Picture a sky where two immense galaxies slowly approach one another across the darkness, their spiral arms stretching like luminous tides across space. Over millions of years, those arms begin to intertwine, forming long rivers of stars that flow between the two systems. The motion is slow, graceful, and almost meditative, as if the universe itself were performing a silent dance. From a quiet vantage point far from the center, an observer would witness a transformation of breathtaking beauty, where two ancient structures gradually reshape themselves into something entirely new. Let your mind rest in this image of cosmic renewal, where change unfolds gently and with profound harmony. As the merger continues, the shapes of both galaxies will slowly dissolve into a single, larger form. The graceful spiral arms will stretch, twist, and eventually fade into a vast luminous cloud of stars. Astronomers believe the final result will be a giant elliptical galaxy, a mature and stable structure in which the turbulence of youth has finally given way to a calmer and more enduring balance. In this future galaxy, stars will orbit within a broad and rounded distribution, forming a serene stellar city containing trillions of suns. It will be a place of quiet gravitational harmony, where the remnants of two ancient galaxies coexist within one unified system. During the long process of merging, gravitational tides will rearrange the orbits of stars throughout both galaxies. Some stars will be sent outward into enormous arcs of light, stretching across intergalactic space. Others will drift closer toward the new galactic center, forming dense clusters and luminous streams. Yet through all of this motion, the vast majority of stars will never collide directly with one another. Instead, they will pass silently through space, guided only by gravity's gentle influence. The galaxy itself will behave more like a living ocean of light than a collection of solid objects, constantly flowing and reshaping itself across time. As billions of years pass, the final structure will settle into stability. The intense bursts of star formation triggered by the merger will gradually diminish as the available gas becomes consumed. In their place, long-lived stars will dominate the galaxy's light. Many of these will be red dwarf stars, small but incredibly stable suns capable of shining for trillions of years. Their quiet and steady glow will illuminate the galaxy long after the brighter, more massive stars have faded away. In this distant age, the cosmos will enter a period of remarkable calm, where the drama of youth gives way to the gentle endurance of maturity. Scientists study distant elliptical galaxies today to understand what this future might look like. Telescopes such as the James Webb Space Telescope allow astronomers to observe ancient galaxies that may already resemble the Milky Way's eventual form. These observations suggest that mature galaxies become vast and tranquil environments, where stars orbit peacefully within stable gravitational fields. They are places where the universe seems to pause and reflect upon its own long journey from chaos to order. By studying these distant systems, astronomers are essentially looking into a mirror that reflects the Milky Way's far future. Now allow your imagination to drift into that distant era. Picture yourself within a galaxy that has completed this transformation. The sky is filled not with spiral arms, but with a smooth sea of softly glowing stars spread across every direction. Their colors range from warm amber to deep crimson, the gentle light of ancient suns shining steadily across the cosmic night. There is no urgency here, no violent collisions or sudden bursts of energy, only quiet motion, soft light, and a sense of immense cosmic patience. In this vision, the galaxy has entered a state of profound balance. Every star follows its path through space with graceful precision, guided by the invisible architecture of gravity. The universe feels calm, stable, and deeply timeless. It is the natural conclusion of billions of years of evolution, where the restless creativity of the early cosmos gives way to a long era of peaceful endurance. As you imagine this tranquil galaxy, you may notice that the same sense of calm begins to settle within your own thoughts. Reflecting on the future of the Milky Way reminds us that change is not something to fear. On the grand scale of the universe, transformation is simply the path through which new forms of beauty emerge. The galaxy itself is a living story that continues to unfold, moving patiently through time toward new states of balance and harmony. Every stage of its evolution prepares the conditions for what comes next. In this way, the future of our galaxy becomes a symbol of resilience and continuity, a reminder that even the largest changes are part of a greater order. And so, while the Milky Way continues its journey toward that distant meeting with Andromeda, we can rest peacefully knowing that we are part of a cosmic process far larger than ourselves. The stars will continue their slow dance, gravity will continue guiding the motion of galaxies, and the universe will continue shaping its vast and beautiful structures. As you allow your thoughts to slow and your breathing to deepen, imagine the galaxy moving silently through space above you, carrying its countless stars toward a future written in light. We have now reached the final stretch of this long and quiet journey, and as the silence around you grows deeper, it becomes possible to feel the immense scale of everything we have traveled through together. From the first invisible clouds of hydrogen drifting through a newborn universe, to the majestic spiral galaxy that now shelters our solar system, the story of the Milky Way reveals that light always finds a way to emerge from darkness. What once appeared as empty space slowly transformed into a cosmic architecture of breathtaking complexity, where gravity patiently sculpted the matter of the universe into stars, nebulae, and galaxies. Within this grand structure, the Milky Way became our home, a vast and luminous city of stars turning gently through the depths of space. When we reflect on this history, we begin to understand that every event in the life of the galaxy contributed to the peaceful moment you experience now. The ancient collisions that shaped the spiral disk, the birth and death of countless generations of stars, and the silent work of dark matter building the galaxy's invisible foundations were all necessary steps in a story that eventually allowed life to appear. Every atom within your body carries the memory of those distant cosmic processes. The iron in your blood was forged in the heart of an exploding star. The carbon in your cells once drifted through a cloud of interstellar gas, and the oxygen you breathe today was created in stellar furnaces billions of years ago. In a very real sense, you are a living continuation of the Milky Way's history. This realization brings a quiet sense of belonging. The galaxy that stretches across the night sky is not distant or separate from you. It is the larger system that produced the elements of your body, the environment that allowed the sun to form, and the cosmic shelter that protects our planet as it travels through space. The Milky Way is not simply something we observe from Earth. It is the structure that gave us existence and continues to sustain the conditions necessary for life to flourish. Allow yourself for a moment to imagine the galaxy from far above its luminous disk. Picture billions of stars arranged in graceful spiral arms, slowly turning around the calm gravity of the galactic center. Clouds of gas glow softly in shades of violet and blue where new stars are being born, while older stars shine with warm amber light across the galaxy's ancient regions. From this perspective, the Milky Way appears as a peaceful whirlpool of light floating within the dark ocean of the universe. And somewhere along one of those spiral arms, orbiting quietly around a small yellow star, is our world. As you rest within this vision, you may feel the gentle rhythm of the galaxy reflected in your own breathing. The slow orbit of the Sun around the galactic center takes more than 200 million years to complete, yet every moment of that journey unfolds with extraordinary stability. Our solar system moves through space like a calm ship crossing an endless sea, guided by the gravitational currents of the Milky Way. While we go about our lives on Earth, the galaxy quietly carries us along its path through the universe. Understanding this cosmic journey often brings a deep sense of calm. Many of the worries that fill our thoughts during the day seem smaller when we place them within the immense timescale of the universe. The Milky Way has existed for billions of years, and it will continue shining long after our own moment in history has passed. Yet within this vast timeline, each conscious life is a precious expression of the universe, becoming aware of itself. Every moment of curiosity, every act of kindness, and every quiet night spent beneath the stars becomes part of the galaxy's unfolding story. The universe, through the Milky Way, has created a place where matter could organize itself into living systems capable of reflection and wonder. That ability to observe the stars, to ask questions about their origin, and to feel awe at their beauty is one of the most extraordinary outcomes of cosmic evolution. In this sense, the galaxy is not only a structure of stars and gas, it is also a vast environment where awareness can emerge, where minds can awaken to the grandeur of the cosmos. As your thoughts begin to slow, imagine once more the gentle glow of the Milky Way stretching across a perfectly dark sky. Each star is quietly burning its fuel, sending faint streams of light into the vastness of space. Some of that light travels for thousands of years before finally reaching the surface of our planet. When it touches your eyes, it carries with it a message from deep time, a reminder that the universe is ancient, resilient, and filled with quiet beauty. Feel the calm that comes from knowing you are part of this immense cosmic system. You are traveling through the galaxy aboard a small world surrounded by protective layers of atmosphere and magnetism, orbiting a stable star within a peaceful region of the spiral arms. Around you, billions of other stars follow their own silent paths through space, forming the luminous architecture of our galactic home. As sleep begins to approach, let the image of the Milky Way slowly drifting through the darkness remain in your mind. Imagine the galaxy continuing its patient rotation while the universe expands quietly beyond it. The stars will keep shining, the nebulae will continue forming new suns, and the cosmic dance of gravity will guide the motion of galaxies for billions of years to come. You are part of that dance. You are part of that light. And tonight, as you rest, the galaxy continues its gentle journey through the infinite. If this quiet journey through the cosmos helped bring calm to your mind, you are warmly invited to continue exploring the universe here on Cosmos for Rest. A simple gesture of support, such as leaving a like, subscribing, or sharing this experience with someone who also enjoys peaceful scientific exploration, helps this space continue bringing the wonders of astronomy to quiet nights like this one. Now allow your breathing to slow. Close your eyes fully, and let the calm rhythm of the universe guide you into deep and peaceful sleep.